Life is popping up all over the place, even in the deadliest spots on Earth, where one wrong move could turn you into a dead pancake in no time flat. But don't trip, guys. Let's peep these mind-blowing creatures kicking it in these straight-up insane places. Fishes of the abyssal depths. We're diving into the deepest depths where your puny self wouldn't survive more than a measly 5 seconds because the ocean's vastness would squish you like a jelly jar. The Mariana Trench, clocking in at a massive 33,920 feet deep, is home to a whole bunch of underwater critters just chilling, keeping their distance from all the human hustle and bustle. Way down, deep in the sea, there's some sly dudes like Melanocetus johnsoni. And let's keep it real, you wouldn't want to be swimming with these bad boys anyways. This abyssal beast, also known as Johnson's abyssal anglerfish, rocks a tiny glow-up that's straight up mesmerizing. It lures fish in with its bioluminescent game like, yo, check out this light, dude, and boom, sayonara, fishy. But also the Dumbo octopus and its fly as fins that look like ears. They rock those babies to glide around with mad style and agility. Or so they try. Cause truth be told, their swimming game is straight up trash, making them slow as molasses. But hey, down in the deep ocean, food be scarce as hell, so it's all about keeping it chill and patient. Gotta play it cool, dude, cause being hyperactive down there means you'll straight up starve. Epistoproctidi be living with some funky transparent skulls. Their eyes aren't where you'd expect, man. Nah, they got these big green balls sitting up top, right on their skull. And get this, their skull's got a transparent roof letting them peep every damn thing going down around them. They can scope out if some predator is creeping up looking to snack on their tiny little booty all sneaky like. Extremophilic bacteria of Yellowstone. The Yellowstone geothermal game is straight up madness with hot springs and geysers popping off like crazy. And check it, it's like the ultimate VIP spot with a garden pavilion and epic sea view for the toughest species out there, these extremophile bacteria. They thrive in the hellish heat and rock acidity so gnarly it'd make any living thing, even us humans, straight up weep. Word on the street is that life always finds a way, but let me tell you, it ain't just survival, it's straight up insolence. Check out this famous bacteria called Thermus aquaticus. This heat junkie is all about them hot tub vibes. But here's the kicker. It's flipped the whole molecular biology game on its head. Its heat-resistant DNA is like a game changer in degrading diseases and exploring genetics. And let's not forget about its star player, Toc polymerase. This bad boy got voted Molecule of the Year back in '93 for its fire role in chemical reactions. It's like the MVP of combustion. We got Sulfolobus acidicaldarius. These bacteria be straight up living in scorching hot springs at a crazy 185 degree Fahrenheit. Then we got them cyanobacteria. These blue-green algae rocking it in Yellowstone, forming some trippy, wavy mats. They're like the bosses of this burning acid world, no doubt. But what about them places where the water itself is a straight up hell? Tubiculous worms from hydrothermal springs. The hydrothermal springs deep down in the abyss. They're like open arms welcoming all them brave souls willing to get their booty smoked by water busting out at insane temps, plus a pressure that'll straight up crush you. It's a dark world down there, no papa's sun shining on you, but check it, despite all that, life be straight up insolent, living there all calm and collected. These hydrothermal spring tube worms, they on some next level art game. They be building them chimney-like tubes around the hot spring using materials they find in the seawater. It's like their own creative masterpiece. And check it, not only does it look stylish as hell, but it also keeps them safe from them pesky predators. Who can argue with that? It's like a win-win, dude. We got some straight up recycling champions here that'll make even the most hardcore activists go weak in the knees. These worms, they be like the ultimate hosts, welcoming symbiotic bacteria into their tissues. These freeloaders take those toxic chems coming from the hydrothermal springs and turn them into a feast full of tasty nutrients for the worms. Now get this, these worms ain't got no mouths, no stomachs, and no digestive system to brag about. They play this epic game of hide and seek with the bacteria instead. The bacteria, they handle all the digestion and energy production for the worms. It's like a deep bond that's been rocking for millions of years. I mean, imagine having a friend who eats and digests for you. That's some serious friendship goals right there. We gotta talk about these worms' appearance. Their mug is straight out of some alien flick, no cap. They rock these wild colors and sport a bizarre vibe with bright red gills and a hairy body. It's like they're from another planet or something, you feel me? But hold up, it gets even crazier. Scientists are digging deep into studying these worms, trying to unravel the secrets of life on Earth. They reckon this could be where it all started. It's like a whole next level exploration. They gotta hop in them high-tech submarines to venture down, cause if they ain't careful, that hot water in the darkness will straight up crush them. Radioactive bacteria. Radioactivity ain't nothing but a weak sauce for bacteria like Deinococcus radiodurans. They straight up laugh in the face of biology's rules. Ha ha ha. This bacterium demands mad respect in the microbial realm because it can easily survive at levels of radioactive smackdown that would turn most living creatures into mush. I'm talking levels so gnarly you'd need walls made of meter-thick lead weighing several tons just to match their radioactive success. That's some next-level toughness right there. Dino got more tricks up her sleeve than you can imagine. She's living her best life, no matter the situation. Dehydration, cold, extreme heat, she's chilling through it all. She's like, I don't give a shit about the conditions, I'm just living. But wait, there's more. This bacterium got some serious ninja moves going on. One of her tricks is her DNA repair game. When Dino gets hit with radiation, her DNA shatters like anyone else's. But then it twists and turns like a boss, and the broken pieces fall back into place, getting repaired in the blink of an eye. It's like a freaking magic trick. This superpower keeps her going against all odds, straight up Chernobyl style. She's surviving in the harshest environments Earth can dish out, no problemo. But fixing up the DNA is just one part of the game. Gotta stay alive in the meantime, right? That's where some other systems kick in, my dude. First off, these bacteria are producing antioxidants that straight up combat the cell damage caused by radiation. It's like they got their own little antioxidant crew keeping things in check. Second, we got them proteins holding it down. These babies are crucial for cell function, so they need some protection. That's where heat shock proteins and other stress proteins step up. They come through to maintain stability when the radioactive invader strikes. It's like having a squad that's got your back in the face of radiation, keeping things steady, you know? These bacteria got a genome that's straight up mind-blowing. It's all packed tight like a dense jungle of DNA, creating a cozy and solid structure. This setup protects their DNA from getting messed up by radiation. It's like limiting the space for DNA breaks and keeping them damaged fragments close together. That way, repairing becomes a whole lot easier. These bacteria got one more fatality in their playbook. They got multiple copies of their most important genes. So if radiation comes through and knocks out a gene or two, no sweat. They got backup copies ready to step up and take over. It's like a tag team wrestling match. It's like having a crew of clones holding it down, keeping things running smooth like butter. But it ain't just one bacteria that's cool with the local radioactivity when it settles in. We got some other badass organisms like Deinococcus radiotolerans and Rubobacter radiotolerans that ain't playing around either. These homies got their own set of skills and mechanisms to battle against them relentless radioactive rays. Scientists are all up in their business because they hold the key to improving the human condition. They see the potential in learning from these resilient organisms and applying that knowledge to help us humans out. Collembola of the polar regions. The cold is mad cool and it beefs you up, you know? That's what them polar springtails, aka snow fleas, be thinking. These tiny critters, like not even 0.08 inches, may be small, but they're straight up masters of adapting and surviving. They can laugh it off, no sweat, when dealing with the hardcore conditions of the polar regions. Them cottontails ain't just looking fly, they know how to stay icy in the cold too. They be rocking a stylish hair coat that not only keeps them warm, but also gives them grip on the snow and ice. It's like a double whammy of protection and steeze, keeping their little bodies cozy and their swag on point. These dudes got some next level gear called the Furka. It's like a secret weapon tucked under their belly. A badass spring that comes in clutch when those ruthless predators are creeping. When they get all spooked, they activate that weapon and bounce. They can leap over 100 times their own size, straight up leaving the danger zone in a single bound. Talk about getting the hell out of Dodge. These little homies got some serious hops. Here's the burning question on your mind. How the heck do these little cold acrobats survive in the harshest conditions, like in those massive regions where we freeze? First off, these springtails got a secret weapon called natural antifreeze. They whip up proteins and glycerols that work like an icy shield, keeping their cells and tissues from freezing up and turning into crystals. That means they can keep their bodies bouncing even when the temps hit rock bottom and go way below freezing. Their diet is on point too. These springtails are grubbing on decaying organic stuff, like dead plants, fungi, and bacteria. It's like a gourmet feast for them, but it also helps them stay cozy in the cold. See, this special diet keeps them fueled up and their body functions running smoothly, like a well-oiled machine. Ain't no chill gonna stop these little homies from thriving. When things get super freezing, these springtails bust out the hibernation game. They enter a sleep mode called cryptobiosis, saving up all that energy and chill until the conditions get better. In this state, their metabolism slows way down so they can ride it out without grub or water for mad long periods. Then, when the temps start to rise, like still cold but a little less frigid, these homies come back full throttle. They snap out of hibernation mode and get back to their hustle at full speed. It's like a boss move, playing it smart and waiting for the perfect moment to bounce back. Surviving in style. That's how these springtails roll. But here's the deal. Teamwork is the real MVP. The cottontails got a knack for reproducing like crazy, popping out babies whenever they want. This means they can multiply fast and take over all their territories, making sure they get a major edge surviving in places where resources be scarce and conditions are straight up tough. It's like a strategic move, playing the numbers game and making sure they got a crew holding it down. They know how to adapt and dominate, making sure they got the best shot at surviving even when the going gets rough. These springtails ain't some self-centered, full of themselves peeps. That's a one-way ticket to a quick death in the freezing cold. These springtails may go wild for a sec, but it's all good because they play a crucial role in the cold zone ecosystems. They break down organic matter, recycle nutrients like bosses, and hold the whole polar ecosystem together. Without them, it'd be a hot mess out there, so mad props to these tiny warriors doing their thing. Anaerobic loricifers. Pay attention, cause this name might not ring a bell in your empty noggins, but it's worth hearing. Check it, oxygen ain't all that important. We can totally live without it. Well, not us weaklings, I'm talking about most living beings. See, the anaerobic loriciferi straight up laugh at our oxygen addiction. Haha, to them it's like a joke. Our dependence on this stuff seems straight up ridiculous. Spinalorchis cinzii is one small-time player in the game. This little Rakikian vertebrate ain't even 0.04 inches long, and it ain't chilling on land, acid, cold spots, or the bottom of the water. Nah, this bad boy sets up shop in anoxic sediments. You know, the ones without a trace of oxygen, right down in the rock beneath the ocean waves. No lie, this little creature is off the charts. It's the OG animal that can rock a smile on its face and reproduce without needing a whiff of oxygen. It's like a damn alien, I'm telling you. Picture this. It's a freaky blend of a slug, a sea urchin, and something straight out of Area 51. This beast is decked out in a rigid cuticle that's shaped like a corset, giving it that hardcore armor vibe. That's why they call it loriciferous, from the Latin word lorica, meaning armor. If you want to live your life without being tied down to that oxygen gas keeping us breathing on this dope blue planet, I got you covered with a simple solution. Here's the deal. You gotta rock an anaerobic metabolism. While most animals be all about that oxygen to make their energy, my homie Spinalorchis cinzia takes a different approach. It's all about using other chemical compounds like sulfates and nitrates to fuel up and get its energy production game on point. It's like playing the field, exploring alternative sources to keep the energy flowing. So if you want to break free from that oxygen dependency, take a page out of Spinalorchis cinzia's book and get creative with your metabolism. First off, you gotta smooch those bacteria goodbye and get cozy with them anaerobic bacteria chilling up in your cells. These little dudes are all about breaking down that organic waste and making mad energy to keep themselves going. Basically, you need a squad of bacteria slaves holding you down 24/7, keeping you alive and kicking. For all you sharp folks wondering what these creatures chow down on in their extreme living conditions, listen up. They feast on a mix of organic bits floating around, plus leftovers from dead critters and plants that sneak their way under the rocks. And get this, they ain't just dealing with their grub situation, they gotta handle the mind-boggling pressure of the oceans and rocks pressing down on them. It's like a crazy heavy load, but these loricifera warriors are holding it down with their super flexible bods. Straight up amazing. Life be living it up everywhere. No worries at all. Let me say it again, us humans and some species might be facing threats, but life as a whole ain't sweating our surface shenanigans. It keeps on vibing in pure bliss, doing its thing no matter what we up to.